In today's video, we're going to be looking at ticker symbol RKLB, also known as Rocket Lab. They've just achieved their 70th landing and also acquired over $23.9 million in funding. And also remember, they have over $1 billion in backlog. So great news there for Rocket Lab. And we're also going to be looking at for MMTLP for ETrade, 46 shares at $5,000 per share, which have just gone. Before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So let's have a look at, first of all, a headline from Yahoo Finance. Trump has signaled the Intel deal could be one of many more cases as the White House is exploring broader investment pushes, and I think they do see that as positive from Yahoo Finance. We can also see the stock market today. The Dow Jones, S&P 500 and NASDAQ are wavering after a record-setting surge, and I think the key thing there, or everything is going to be focused on, is Nvidia. So if we have a look at here in terms of the key events this week shared in the Discord, we're going to have Nvidia earnings on the Wednesday, and then we have GDP on the Thursday, but I think also the big one will be BABA earnings on Friday, and also core PCE inflation data on Friday. So let's have a look at all the stocks that we're looking at in earnings. So Coles will be an interesting one on Wednesday. The big one we know is Nvidia. Then we also have Snowflake, we have CrowdStrike, and we also have HP. Dell and Marvel will be big ones, and BABA on Friday, as well as Frontline. So a big week for earnings. And other good news for Google. If we have a look at Google's business valuations, we can see here total valuation here is in excess of $3.48 trillion, covering areas from Google Search, DeepMind, Google Cloud, YouTube, Waymo and Network. So they have a market cap just in excess of 2.5 trillion and upside in excess of 39%. If we have a look at what happened earlier today, it hit a price over $210. So Google is also one of my personal long-term holds. I acquired this less than $100 mark and currently doing exceptionally well. And finally, let's finish off by having a quick review of the previous week's weekly watch list, where we had some good calls, including ALKT up over 9.5% on the week, Lyft that was up over 7% on the week, NXT that was up over 6.1% on the week, OSCR Oscar up over 5.9% on the week, PANW an earnings call up over 4.5% on the week, and many more. So if you would like to get the next weekly watch list, which has just been made available, details are in the description below. Before we get started, I'd like to take 1 minute of your time to share details of the Trading Secrets Discord. This includes daily stock alerts shared in the pre-market, the weekly watches shared prior to trading on the Monday, the $1 Million Challenge, and much more. So we also have had some tremendous calls in the weekly watch list, as well as the daily stock alerts, and these include LEAS up over 152% on the week, DOMH up over 210% on the week, IGTI up over 77% on the week, and many more. We have a new channel called Top Ranked Stocks DD, and this includes PDF reports which you can download and use for research and due diligence. Obviously you can join us in live trading chat as well. We've just had a $2,000 Discord update which includes breaking news for stocks, including bio stocks, earnings, analyst ratings, Reddit news, why the stock is moving, and much more. And as well as that, you can join us in the famous $1 Million Challenge, where we look at compound return investing and 201 trades. And just a reminder of the power of compounding. If you have 1 cent, you double that for 30 days, you would have over $5 million, but we are using a strategy of just a 3.5% return. Let's have a look at ticker symbol RKLB, also known as Rocket Lab. This was a stock that we added to our weekly watch list, and there was news with regard to expanded US investments. There's also positive news also shared today, and one of the other stocks that I'll share with you that we did also add on the watch list was SPAI, and this was news shared in the Discord with regard to a 20 million raise in private placement. So let's have a look at how SPAI did today at time of editing. Safe Pro Group Incorporated up over 17%, so congratulations to everybody in the Discord in SPAI. And also similar good news for Rocket Lab today, up over 7.8% at time of editing, just trading at $47.85. And remember, at one point it was trading over the $50 mark earlier on in the year, so I think it should obviously achieve prices in excess of that. So let's have a look at the news shared in our Space Stocks channel in the Discord, and that was basically Rocket Lab is soaring after the 70th electronic mission. So good news there. So the post here from the company itself states here, mission success for Electron's 70th launch and latest liftoff from LC1. So that's great news from the company. And what we can also see here in terms of details of this, the stock surged close to 10%, and the successful launch of the 70th Electron mission is cementing its position as the global leader in responsive launch services and establishing Electron as the world's most frequently launched small orbital rocket. So great news there. In addition to the launch achievements, Rocket Lab has also announced plans to boost its US investments, so expand semiconductor manufacturing. And the good news here is the company will receive a $23.9 million award from the Department of Commerce as part of the CHIPS and Science Act to support those investments. So great news there for Rocket Lab. And again, news also shared in one of my previous videos, and that was with regard to the company's backlog, which is front and center on the radar. And obviously previously the backlog was well in excess of $1 billion, and right now is decreased, so they are meeting this order, but still approximately $1 billion backlog. So no problems there in terms of customers. So let's have a look at the impact on the company's revenue growth, and we can see here from the latest figures, the revenue growth was 78.34% compared to the previous earnings in the released figures. So again, certainly going in the right direction. And finally, let's have a look at a summary of the key catalysts right now. So we've had the 10% surge in the stock price in response to the 70th Electron mission launch, and obviously we've had the $23.9 million CHIPS Act funding, over $1 billion in backlog, and we're now, the next catalyst is the upcoming Neutron rocket launch. So keep an eye out on that. Again, we will share details of that as soon as we have them. And before we look at the latest updates for MMTLP, quick shout out here to Roger James Hamilton from GNS, who is the CEO, and he states here there is a line of CEOs ready to back the complaints, tagging in investor turf, and he states here, add FINRA to the list, and here's ChatGPT 5's clear summary of the issue with regard to FINRA, and he states here there is an inherent conflict of interest, and that is with regard to FINRA, which is tasked with regulating broker-dealers and protecting investors, whilst its leadership is partly elected and funded by the very same broker-dealers. So I think a very clear conflicts of interest there, and many of whom also own DTCC and private clearing houses that underpin the US securities settlement. So I think this certainly needs to be investigated, so we'll see how that develops. So for MMTLP, shout out here to Jen, who's talked about NextBridge apparently was going bankrupt, McCabe was apparently quitting, and apparently it was over, tagging in Mr. Davies, who is allegedly an energy OG. I'm not sure what the OG in his case stands for, but what C-Plant has responded to is that if anybody thinks that Greg McCabe is going to quit and walk away from his investment, they have seriously lost their minds, and he would disregard anybody that says anything other than that. So that's a sign of confidence that Greg McCabe is staying and fighting for the cause. What Rob Carter has stated on the Real Talk radio show is tagging in John Berda, and states he is willing to go on the air for an hour to discuss the MMTLP fiasco, but also should not elected representatives from the government also do the same. So that's an open question, and I think an interesting post here from Iron8 with regard to Grok on X, which is the AI model used on there, and he's tagged them in and asked the question, where's the history of S1 approval delays by the SEC? Does not NextBridge hydrocarbon situation reside? Just a simple chart of the top 10 longest delays, include company name, approximately number of days until approval or decline, and apparently I have seen the post, and Grok has failed to answer this question. I don't think it's a difficult question. Everything there is in public record, so Grok needs to do its job, but apparently Grok is refusing, so I'm not sure why that is. And finally, shout out here to Buckaroo, Ski, who stated with regard to the ETrade shares held, 46 shares of MMTLP held, and each of them with an order of $5,000 each. And he's saying here all the orders are gone, question mark, from the public records, why all the other traders and orders are there. So everything else is there. The only thing wrong is the $5,000 sell orders for 46 shares. And what's going on? What is wrong? And I suppose that is a question for ETrade. And finally, if you'd like to join us in the Discord, join us in the challenge, as well as get a copy of the daily stock alerts and the weekly watch list. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.